Hey there everybody, my name is Keno and welcome back to your Toronto Maple Leafs franchise mode series here on the channel. Now that last episode came with a lot of twists and turns and big additions, and no, I did not expect some of them. I did not expect the Nashville Predators to offer us UC Saros for pretty much nothing. And I'm excited to see what he can do for us. He's already played 2 games in the blue and white. He's got a .928 save percentage, a 1 win and 1 loss throughout it. And we still have the rest of the season to finish up. So hopefully he can show us some absolute dominance. It is unfortunate that we lost Ilya Samsonov in the process of the trade deadline. But, you know, we still have some really good goalies, especially UC Saros. And then being able to add Taylor Hall and Alex Iafallo on top of that without giving up a major roster piece or even a lot of our prospects is amazing in my opinion. Having a third line of Hall, Tavares, and Robertson, and that fourth line now with the new addition of Alex Iafallo with Nick Abruzzese and Blake Wheeler, that's a very competent fourth line. That's almost a good enough third line on most teams. So hopefully this team can really dominate in this last little stretch of games before heading into the playoffs. And when it comes to contract extensions, we have quite a few on the verge of expiring. John Tavares and Nick Hague we knew about, Jake McCabe we knew about, but we also have Alex Iafallo and Taylor Hall expiring. Now, chances are we're just going to let them walk. Maybe Iafallo's not asking for a lot and we can bring him back, and you know what, he really isn't, but we only have 13.8 to spend currently, and I really want to save that for some big pieces, possibly, depending on how we do in this year's playoffs. And I mean, UC Saros needs an extension, but he doesn't really want one, and he's asking for a lot of money on short term. So depending on how it goes, we might bring him back, but we'll have to see. We'll just have to wait and see how the cards unfold for us. And that all starts here with the first game of this episode. And as is tradition with the first and last games of an episode, we always slow sim it. So we're at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York, for our first game of this episode, game 62 of the season, and we're looking to catch up to the Florida Panthers. I really don't think we're going to. They're going insane. We do have 3 games in hand over them, but they're currently 13 points ahead of us, so unless they royally screw up, I don't think we're going to catch them. But game 62 of the season against the Sabres, and let's see how it goes. First period, and it's a 2-0 lead. 2 goals by Fraser Minton nonetheless. Shots are 13-7 for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and we have shut the door so far through 20 minutes. Let's see how we do in the next 20. Second period, and the Sabres get on the board. A shorthanded goal by Dylan Cousins on UC Saros. Shots are 28-18 currently for your Toronto Maple Leafs, so we are killing them. We are killing them. Let's see if we can convert in the third period. And the Sabres actually do. They tie this one up at 2 apiece with their 30th shot of the game with 41 seconds left to go nonetheless. And we are headed to overtime. We're hounding them, absolutely hounding them, but they fought back. So let's see, overtime. And they come back to win it, down 2-0, and they fight all the way back. And I don't like that Joe Woll was in net for that. God, if UC Saros is hurt, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind. Hopefully it's just a simple one that we don't see anything from. And it looks like it is. Okay, so no long-term injuries for UC Saros if he was even injured. But Juuso Välimäki has returned, so let me get him the lines. Alright, UC Saros has returned. He's still a little banged up, but because of the current restrictions that we have, I can't really do much about that aside from put him straight into the lineup. Logan Stanley was waived, and we are ready to go here. Game 63, the first half of a back-to-back against none other than the Florida Panthers. We're looking for a win here. We're going to quick sim this one. Let's see, do we get it? And Nick Hague has returned to the lineup as well. I will have to make the line changes before we see how the outcome was. And unfortunately, we dropped that game 2-1 in overtime to the Panthers. And also, unfortunately, before he could even lace up for the first time in the blue and white, Christian Dvorak was waived and claimed by the Vancouver Canucks. I called him up just after the trade deadline, or just before the trade deadline, and I needed to make some space for Nick Hague's return. But we're here at the second half of the back-to-back against the New York Rangers. UC Saros is winless in his last few games, so let's see if we can get a win here against the Rangers. In game 64 of the season, Thomas Nosek is available. Let me take a look at his stats quickly. Yeah, he's great. He's a great defensive option. Let's grab him. Juuso Välimäki, he's fully healed. How did we do? We won 3-1. Okay, nice win there. Simon Benoit is fully healed as well. I'm just waiting for Nick Hague to be fully healed against the Columbus Blue Jackets here in game 65 of the season. And Nick Hague is fully healed. I'll get him changed in a second as we lost that one 8-6. Holy crap, what a bad game. We have been really bad in our last little stretch here. Let me get Hague in the lines. So Hague is back in the lines, and I made one small change, putting Robertson up for that second line with Minton and Nylander, and Nyes down in the third line with Tavares and Hall. And Hall hasn't really been a letdown yet. 3 assists through 5 games. He's a -1, but that's still pretty good. And Iafallo, let's see how he's done. No points in 5 games and a -2. So he's a little bit more of a letdown, but we did just grab him for a fourth line grinding option. And UC Saros, even though he hasn't got his wins, he's 2-2-2 through 6 games and a .922 save percentage. So he's stopping the puck a hell of a lot. Let's get some pucks in the opponent's nets to make up for it. We're going up here, another back-to-back against the Avs and the Sens. Let's see how we do. Both of them at Scotiabank Arena. Game 66 against the Avs, first half the back-to-back, and it's a 4-3 loss. Oh my gosh. Game 67 of the season, our cursed number. Second half of the back-to-back against the Sens. How do we do? I don't care about the scouting report. We win that one 2-1 in a shootout. We need to get some more big wins. Hopefully we can get one here against a struggling Boston Bruins team at the Scotiabank Arena in game 68 of the season, and it's a 5-4 win. So it's a win, but I don't like how we got it. Against the Carolina Hurricanes, game 69 of the season, very nice number, and a very bad loss. Unfortunate for us. We're going to make some line changes. Alright, and I just jumbled things up a bit to make a super second line. It's Hall, Tavares, Nylander, United, with Robertson, Minton, and Nyes, the youngster lineup on that third line. Fourth and first lines were untouched, and then defensively, it's Valimaki and Pesce on that top line now that Valimaki is fully healed, with Riley and Benoit on the second pair, and then Hague and McCabe on that third pair, because McCabe has been solid defensively, and Hague has been as well. I hope that maybe they can bounce off each other, and Benoit's been really good as well. He's been a really nice third pairing defender for us. Hopefully he can excel in these extended minutes. And I am keeping UC Saros in net for the next little bit. If he drops one of the next 2 games here, then I will make a change. I really don't want to, because I don't want to go back to the edit line screen. But let's see, game 70 of the season against a middling Buffalo Sabres team. How do we do? And it's a 5-3 loss. Okay, I said I'd change it, so I'm going to change it. It is Joe Wool's net against the Detroit Red Wings, who are a struggling team, still at the Scotiabank Arena. Game 71 of the season, just 11 games remaining, and it's a 4-3 loss. Oh my gosh, we have dropped so many games lately. Can we right the ship against the Minnesota Wild here? Game 72 of the season, it's a 7-3 win, a nice big win there. Let's keep the momentum going into game 73 against the Calgary Flames, and Juuso Valimaki's out with a sprained ankle until pretty much the end of the season. We'll replace him, but that is unfortunate, and it's a 6-5 loss as well. So this team is going terribly, but we're up against an Arizona Coyotes who just seem to have broken a losing streak. Let's see if we can get a win here. They're notorious for whooping our butts, especially on home ice. Let's see if we can change the tides, though. We're not going to catch the Florida Panthers, that's for damn sure. But let's see if we can at least get second place in our division and get home ice advantage against possibly the Montreal Canadiens. And I don't even see us doing that. We're currently 9 points behind them, so it's looking really tough for us. But let's go. Game 74 of the season against the Arizona Coyotes, and Taylor Hall's out with a fractured jaw until April 21st, so he might even miss some playoff times, but he's out for the remainder of the regular season. We're going to replace him. That sucks so bad. We do win that one 4-3 in a shootout, and Mitch Marner now has 101 points on the season, still with 8 games left of hockey to play. Let's see if he can get even more. I wonder how the team is doing. Game 75, after game 75, we'll do a check. It's against the powerful Florida Panthers, who seem to be struggling in their last 10 games, so there is still hope for us to catch up, but I don't think so. We'd have to win all of our remaining games. Let's go. Against the Florida Panthers here, a quick sim game, and it's a 3-2 overtime loss. So they have put themselves up above us for the rest of the season. We can't possibly catch them, but let's see how our team is doing in general. So that top line was dominant all early season. Let's see how Grabyankin's doing now. He's got 53 points in 75 games, so he's definitely slowed down quite a fair bit, but still amazing production for the rookie. Matthews with 41 goals, 58 assists, 99 points in 75 games. He's on the verge of a 100-point season as well, and maybe he could even get the 50-goal season. We'll have to wait and see. And then Marner, we know, with 101 points. Yarnko with 12 points in 53 games. He came in replacement of Taylor Hall, and I'm immediately going to change that to put Pontus Holmberg in. He shouldn't have been scratched in the first place, really. John Tavares has 65 points in 75 games, so he's done very well. I just don't like that -9. William Nylander with 19 goals, 47 assists, 66 points in 70 games. I don't like the -10. I don't like the -10. Nick Robertson has slowed down heavily. 23 goals, 17 assists for 40 points in 71 games and a -15. So that entire original second line of Robertson, Tavares, and Nylander were really struggling. Fraser Minton with 43 points in his first full NHL season. That's very good. His first 20-goal campaign as well. Matthew Knies with 49 points in 61 games is very, very good. Nothing to scoff at there. Iafallo has 2 points in 15 games and a -8 since joining the Toronto Maple Leafs, so that's not very good news. Abruzzese with 5 points in 31 games, and Blake Wheeler with 22 points in 55 games, so he's got to get a little bit more ice time. That's for damn sure. Let's take a look at the defensive core, and then I will consider making some line changes. It's currently Vinny Iorio on that top pair with Brett Pesce, and I'm probably going to change that out, but he does have 4 points in 10 games with a +1. He is doing really well in the extended minutes. Honestly, he should stay in the top pair. Brett Pesce with 33 points in 75 games and a +22. Very, very good production for the veteran defender. Morgan Rielly with 39 points in 75 games, so he's really turned things around. I still just don't like the minus category even being full. Benoit with 16 points in 75 games and a +6. McCabe with 17 points in 73 games and a +16, and Nick Hague with 15 points in 56 games and a +6. So the defensive core in general is doing very well. I'm going to keep Iorio on that top pair there because he is just doing very well. He's doing very well. And then goaltenders, it's been Joe Wolsnet for that last little bit, and he's just not doing very good. He's not doing good. So we're going to switch him out, and I'll make some other line changes right now. So I wanted to try out some different line combinations because we are coming to the end of the regular season and it's our time to really tinker around with options, and we do have Iafallo currently now replacing Grebyankin on that top line with Matthews and Marner. Grebyankin being bumped down to the second line with Tavares and Matthew Knies, and then that third line of Robertson, Mint, and Nylander will actually be the starting third line, and I do like the line chemistry boosts. I hope that it can make some good effect on the team, but we'll have to wait and see. And then defensively, I decided not to make any changes because it's not working. It's not like it's not working. You know, it's working out pretty good for us. Goaltending, we already saw that we put Saros back in nets. Let's see if we can get some dominant performances here. Personally, I just want to see this team do better. But we got to get some momentum going first against the Boston Bruins here in game 76 of the season. They have really struggled, so let's see if we can get an easy win here. I don't think it'll be easy. It is the Toronto Maple Leafs after all. They never get anything very easy. But against the Boston Bruins, game 76 of the season, quick simming this one, and it's a 4-3 loss. Of course it is. Juuso Välimäki is fully healed. Let me make him available for the lines. All right, Välimäki is back on the top pair, and instead of Iorio coming out, he was bumped down to the second line, and Benoit has currently come out of the lines just because I want to see what we got there. That's it. Not because he's not good, but because I want to see what we have. Well, let's see how we do against the St. Louis Blues in the first half of another back-to-back. So we got a lot of games crammed in the later half of the season. Game 77 of the season at home, Scotiabank Arena against the St. Louis Blues. How do we do? Grebyankin goes down to a sprained ankle. He's out for at least another week or two. That's unfortunate. We're going to replace player there and get Yarnko in, and it's a 3-2 loss. So this team is doing abysmally bad as we go up against a red-hot Montreal Canadiens team in the second half of a back-to-back at their home barn. So it's already looking like a write-off for us. But let's see, quick simming this one. And it's a 3-1 win. Okay, so of course, when we're not supposed to win, we win. And when we are destined to win against a very bad team, we lose. Just the story of the Toronto Maple Leafs against the New Jersey Devils here at home again. Game 79 of the season, just 3 games left after this, and it's a 6-5 shootout win. Very nice. Matthews now has 107 points in 79 games, 44 goals on the season as we go into a triple header against the Rangers, the Devils, and the Capitals. 3 back-to-back games to finish off this season. We do luckily clinch a playoff spot. Our seeding isn't yet confirmed. We may still fall below the Senators and have a first-round matchup possibly against the Washington Capitals, I would think. Maybe the Florida Panthers. Hopefully not the Florida Panthers. It all depends on how these next 3 games go. And I'm nervous to see how we will do. I mean, our additions have not been that great yet. Currently, one of them's out long term. But let's see. Game 1 of this triple header against the New York Rangers. And you know what? we're going to quickly go through them because I did say we're going to go through the first round in this episode. So let's see, against the New York Rangers, game 80 of the season, how do we fare? We lose 4-2. Holy crap. This team has been just so bad since the trade deadline. Game 81 of the season against the New Jersey Devils. How do we do? Matthews is 4 goals away from 50. Can he get 2 goals in back-to-back games to get to 50 goals? Only time will tell, but against the New Jersey Devils, game 81 of the season, it's a 5-3 win, and Matthews nets a hat trick there. He is 1 goal away from 50 goals. He's got 113 points on this season, and let's slow sim this one to see if he gets that 50 goal marker on the season and finish out the regular season here. But against the Washington Capitals, first period, and it's 2-1 after 1. Nyes opens the scoring, but Matthew Phillips ties it up for the Caps before Pontus Holmberg puts us up by 1 with 36 seconds left in the first period. Shots at 13 apiece. Second period, and there it is. Matthews with his 50th goal of the season. I'm sorry if I didn't go through it in order. I just saw Matthews' name and I got excited. Andreas Janssen, former Toronto Maple Leafs, gets a power play goal for the Caps before Yarncrow, Matthews, and Iafallo score 3 unanswered goals. I wonder how Iafallo has done on the top line with Matthews. But let's see. Third period, and the Caps come back to tie it up. Ovechkin, Oshie, and former Toronto Maple Leaf Carl Grundstrom net 3 unanswered goals themselves to get themselves back in this game. And we are headed to overtime. Let's see. 3-on-3 overtime. And it's still tied. Shots are 40 apiece. Score is 5 apiece. Can we win it in the shootout? Overtime shootout. And it's a 6-5 win for the Washington Capitals. I cannot believe we blew a lead that badly. UC Saros has not done very well for us since joining, honestly. But Matthews does get his 50th of the season, and we do lock in at the 3rd seed destined to face the Montreal Canadiens in the first round of the playoffs. So this team has really struggled, definitely terribly struggled, but let's see how everyone did individually. So Alex Iafallo, one of our new additions at the trade deadline, let's see how he fared. 5 points in 22 games is not very good, but his plus minus did go up. He did seem to benefit playing on that top line with Matthews and Marner. As we know, Matthews finished with 114 points in 82 games, including 50 goals. Absolutely stellar performance by who should be our captain, the person who should definitely be our captain. Mitch Marner finished with 25 goals, 100. Mitch Marner finished with 25 goals, 100. Mitch Marner finished with 25 goals, 111 points in 82 games, a plus minus of plus 30. He was stellar for us. That entire top line was stellar for us. On the second line, Calle Yarncrow was more of a depth forward for us, and he did great every time we put him on the ice, honestly. John Tavares finished with 73 points in 82 games, almost perfectly tying what he did last season. 27 goals this season, though. Very good performance by the veteran. Matthew Nyes finishes pretty much exactly tied with what he had last season, except he did it in about 14 less games. 53 points in 68 games on the season. Very good production in his second NHL year. Robertson finished with a 20-goal year, 23 goals, 41 points in 78 games, but a minus 22. He was really bad for us defensively. Minton finished with 43 points in 82 games, so I don't think he had a point there in that last little stretch. That's unfortunate. Nylander finished with 74 points in 77 games and a minus 17, so he was also a really bad detriment defensively, at least this season. So we'll have to see what he can do for next season. If there is going to be a next season, I hope we can get a win in the Stanley Cup. Pontus Holmberg finished with 26 points in 58 games, he's back up to an 82. Nick Abruzzese with 6 points in 38 games, and Blake Wheeler with 24 points in 62 games, playing mostly fourth line minutes, so he was a really good little depth addition for us. Defensively, Valimaki was great, 30 points in 70 games and a plus 21. I don't think any of you guys expected him to do as great as he did with the amount of ice time that he had, but he was great for us this season. Absolutely great. Brett Pesce with 34 points in 82 games and a plus 23. Morgan Riley with 41 points in 82 games and a minus 9. So I don't really care about the minus category that much. It's a little concerning, but he did get his point production going toward the latter half of that season. Vinny Iorio with 6 points in 17 games and a minus 2. That's still really good production for somebody who's qualified as a depth defender, logging 21 minutes a night. Very good production. Jake McCabe with a +20 and 18 points in 80 games. Very good. Very good. It's unfortunate this is going to be his last season with the Leafs more than likely, but I mean, I'm very happy with what he did for us. And Nick Hague with 15 points in 63 games. He definitely battled injuries all season, but he was a really good piece for us nonetheless. And in net, UC Saros seems to have really struggled with us. 7 wins, 9 losses, 3 overtime losses through 19 games played, and a .901 save percentage. So he was really hot to start, but then he kind of dropped off really quickly. Hopefully he bounces back in the playoffs. And Joe Woll was almost an unplayable goalie, an .878 save percentage with 1 shutout and a .375 goals against average through 25 games played is really not good news for us. Greg Biankin finished with 54 points in 77 games. It's unfortunate that he did go down to that injury. And it's unfortunate that he slowed down as much as he did, but still really good rookie numbers there. And then Taylor Hall with 11 points in 14 games. So if we can get him back in the lineup, he is just about recovered. If we can get him back in the lineup soon, especially for the first round of the playoffs, that would be amazing. But as I said in the last video, we will be doing the first round of the playoffs in this video. It will be against the Montreal Canadiens. Now, in the Montreal Canadiens series that I have going on this channel, they have a very storied history against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have struggled against them. I hope it's the case in this one too. I hope they struggle against us and we can come out with an easy win here in the first round, but you can never be too sure. The EA gods, the EA voodoos, the EA magic can always screw us at any given time. But let's see, let's get ready for this first round matchup against the Montreal Canadiens. They will have home ice advantage for it because they did finish second in the division, almost catching up to the Florida Panthers at first. They were a really good team. And before we get simming, let's take a look at who they've got. So they're looking pretty decent, and they did bring back Philip Deno, but they got Slavkovsky with Suzuki and Caulfield on top pair, Pearson with Deno and Dak on that second line, Harvey Pinard with Newhook and Gallagher. Newhook down to a 79 overall, probably because of ice time. And then Farrell with Evans and Armia on that fourth line. So they're really hurting Farrell and Newhook with their limited ice time, but they still look really good. They have a really deep forward core. Defensively, it's Gouli and Reinbacher on that top pair. They have Matheson and addition Colton Parayko on that second pair. And then Arbor Jacki and Justin Barron on that third pair. So their defense also looks very good for them. And in net, veteran Jake Allen, who had a .902 save percentage with 36 wins in 60 games this season. And backing him up, Caden Primo, who if you watch the Montreal Canadiens series, you know he's really good. He did pretty decently for them in a limited role this season. They have 84 overall Joshua Waugh scratched for them. He's a second line forward. They also have Nyquist and Provorov scratched. So they have some really good depth pieces. No injuries though, so we're up against a full strength Montreal Canadiens roster. But I think our team will come out on top. They seem to have a little more depth than we do, especially offensively, but we got the star power. We got the banger players on our team. It all depends on how we play in the playoffs here. Game 1 of the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs starts here at the Bell Center in Montreal, and I'm excited to see how we do. It all depends on our play, and it starts early. Alex Iafallo with an early first period goal puts us up by 1. Now let's sim the rest of this first period and see how they maintain it. First period. And that is a good sign. Calle Jarnkrok adds to it. Justin Barron gets it within 1 before Matthews puts us ahead by 2 again. Shots 6-2-11, and we lead 3-1 after 1 period. Second period. And the Montreal Canadiens fight back. Alex Newhook gets them tied up. No, gets them within 1 before Mitch Marner puts us up by 2 again, just for Cole Caulfield to get a power play goal and put them back within 1 with under 30 seconds to go in that second period. Shots are 26-19 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, your Toronto Maple Leafs, and we currently lead this one by 1, a score of 4-3 heading into the third period. And right away, Calle Jarnkrok double dips. I couldn't even get the sniffle out before he does it. And then John Tavares does as well. It is now 6-3 for your Toronto Maple Leafs. Brendan Gallagher gets one on UC Saros before John Tavares also gets another one. Just before Justin Barron gets another. It's now 7-5, just 10 minutes into the third period here. Holy crap, the scoring bonanza going on. But it seems to have cooled down now as we go into the final 5 minutes of the third frame in Game 1. And we do seem to come out with a 8-5 victory in Game 1 at the Bell Center. Fraser Minton notching a last-minute empty netter for your Toronto Maple Leafs. That was an absolutely crazy third period. John Tavares finishes with 4 points in 1 game there in the playoffs. And I'm sorry if I'm stumbling and stuttering. You guys know it. If you're a long-time watcher of the channel, I do seem to have a speech impediment, even if it's not diagnosed. I'm just too fast for my own mouth. My lips can't catch up with what my brain is thinking, and my vocal cords can't catch up with what my lips are trying to do, and I end up saying nonsense half the time. But we're going here into game 2 against the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center, and Taylor Hall is fully healed, so let me get him in the lines. And not only was Taylor Hall back, but Nikita Grebyankin was back as well. He's on the third line currently with Minton and Nylander, because Iafallo has been doing very good with Matthias Marner. It's probably just the cause and effect of playing with 2 superstars, but he is doing very well. We have Hall with Tavares and Nyes on that second line, and then Grebyankin, Minton, Nylander on the third line, with Robertson down to the fourth line with Pontus Holmberg and Blake Wheeler. Aside from that, no lineup changes were made. We're going into game 2 at the Bell Center against the Montreal Canadiens. Let's see how we do. All right, first period. And a good first period. Marner opens the scoring under a minute into the game. Fraser Minton gets us up by 2, and then Matthew Nyes, with under a minute to go in the period, gets us up by 3. Shots 13 apiece, but we have stoned them so far and notched 3 goals on them in return. Let's see if we can keep up the momentum. Second period. And Newhook gets the Canadiens on the board just for Nylander to put us back up by 3. And if you didn't see there, I'm talking a mile a minute, making actions before I can even finish saying my words. We're going into the third period here with a chance to go back to the Scotiabank Arena with a 2-0 series lead. Let's see if we can keep it going. Third period of play underway. And 5 minutes are down, and it's been a quiet third period so far. Looks like the Leafs are going to walk away with this one, but Cole Caulfield gets a power play goal to bring them within 2. UC Saros just needs to shut the door. Nick Suzuki gets a shorthanded goal on UC Saros. They're now within 1 with 3 minutes to go in the period. Can we keep the door closed? We do. We walk out of the Bell Center and out of these first 2 games with back-to-back wins, headed to the Scotiabank Arena with a 2-0 series lead. Marner has now taken over that scoring lead in the playoffs with 5 points through 2 games played as we arrive in Toronto for game 3 of the playoffs. No lineup changes need to be made. We're ready to go here. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. A nice win is coming up. It all depends on how we play. I keep saying that one, and right off the bat, Pontus Holmberg gets a goal on Jake Allen. Then Taylor Hall gets another goal just 6 seconds later, putting us up by 2 on the first 2 shots of the game. Holy crap, this team is good. Let's go first period. And Cole Caulfield gets the only other goal of the period, a power play goal at around the 8-minute mark. Shots are 12-11 for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and we currently lead this one 2-1 after 20. Second period. And we go crazy. A power play goal by Austin Matthews, followed by a goal by Yuri Slavkovsky and the Montreal Canadiens, just for a power play goal by Mitch Marner, and another goal by Nikita Grebyankin to put us up 5-2. Let's go. Getting the third period of play underway. We outshoot them currently 28-18, and another goal by Matthew Nyes, followed by another goal by Alex Iafallo, and we are hounding the Montreal Canadiens, absolutely decimating them as we currently lead this one 7-2 with 10 minutes to go. Suzuki does get the Canadiens up into this game, and so does Doc, both on the power play. It is now 7-4. Another crazy barn burner of the game seems to be happening here. 3 minutes to go now, and that's how the score is going to stand. 7-4 for your Toronto Maple Leafs. And I swear, these third periods happen so fast and crazy sometimes that I can't even commentate properly. My brain starts to scramble and I start saying nonsense. And also, it's very late at night and I'm still recording, and I shouldn't be. I should be in bed, cozied up with a nice little pillow and a blanket and just getting my Z's. But I'm not getting my Z's. I'm getting dubs right now with this Toronto Maple Leafs team. And I don't plan to stop getting dubs, even though Nicholas Hag is down with the wrist sprain for at least another 2 to 3 weeks. That's unfortunate. John Tavares is going crazy with 8 points through 3 games. This team is doing crazy, and we have the ability to do the S in this 4th game at Scotiabank Arena. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. We have the chance to knock the Canadiens out. We've pushed them to the brink of elimination. With how good and crazy these games were, I didn't even realize that we had done that. We are ready to go. Game 4 of the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs first round against the Montreal Canadiens. No lineup changes need to be made because this team is doing good enough on their own. Let's see if we can shut the door fully and send this team home quick. First period. and it's 2-0 for the Habs after one. Raphael Harvey Pinard opens the scoring, followed by Caden Gooley with just under a minute to go in the first. Shots are 11-8 for the Habs, so they're really pouring on the pressure. They're fighting really hard. Let's see if we can make their fights worth nothing. Second period, and we get within one, a goal by Brett Pesce on Jake Allen. Shots are 24-18 for the Habs though, and they lead this one 2-1 still after 40 minutes of play. Can we bounce back in the third period? These third periods have been absolutely crazy so far. We start with the power play. It is killed off. This period is going by rather uneventfully. Another power play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it is killed off. Hopefully we can get one here. Hopefully we can get one and tie it up. I really want to win it at Scotiabank Arena. Please just get one more. One more, guys. One more. And we don't, and the Habs do have a spark of life as they win Game 4 and avoid the sweep. I didn't think I would have jinxed myself by saying the S word and not saying sweep itself, but apparently I did. We do not finish it in 4, but we have a chance still to finish it in Game 5 and Game 6. Let's just get it done in 5 though. We're back at the Bell Center. Let's make some Canadians cry. Some Montreal Canadiens fans cry. I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't want to make them cry because I am like a diehard Habs fan in my other series. Normally I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. That's why I had to do them. But I'm speaking at a mile a minute. I gotta shut up. Let's go. Game 5 of the first round against the Montreal Canadiens at Bell Center in Montreal. Let's go. First period of play underway. Can we get a win? And it's scoreless after one. A tight game. Shots 12-9 for the Montreal Canadiens. Can we bounce back? Can we fight? Can we fight? Second period. And the Habs go up 2-1. Brendan Gallagher and Matheson score the goals for the Habs before Morgan Riley gets us within 1. Heading into the third period, the Habs are pouring on the pressure. They definitely seem to be playing their hearts out now, fighting off elimination tooth and nail, but we got to send them home. We got to end this for them. Let's go. Third period of play underway. It was an uneventful third period last game, and immediately we tied up a goal by the rookie Nikita Grebyankin, makes it 2-2. The Habs are pouring on the shots, and they convert. Brendan Gallagher gets one past UC Saros, followed by Kirby Dack right thereafter, putting them up by a score of 4-2 with just around 5 minutes to go in the period. It's looking like we're headed to a Game 6 as they get a power play. We do kill it off, but we don't get anything in return, and we lose this one 4-2. I really hope they don't come back and tie this series up. I really hope so. It really depends on how we play here. I don't think we need to make any line changes. The team is doing decently still. Going into Game 6 at Scotiabank Arena, we have to win it here. I don't want them to tie it up by any means. Let's go. First period. And it's scoreless after one. Shots 11-10 for the Montreal Canadiens. Just a slight edge in shots. Can we convert on our shots in the second period? We both do. Cole Caulfield opens the scoring in the game for the Montreal Canadiens before Morgan Riley ties it up 1 apiece. Shots 25-22 now for your Toronto Maple Leafs. Heading into the third period of play here, and I am desperate to get a win. I do not want them tied up. A 5-on-3 power play is killed off for your Toronto Maple Leafs before Cole Caulfield gets his second of the game, this time on the power play, putting them up 2-1 with under 10 minutes to go. We get a power play ourselves, but it is killed off. Under 5 minutes now to go. Can we tie it up and avoid going to Game 7? And we do not. We lose this one 2-1, and the Montreal Canadiens have come back down from 3-0 to tie this series up at 3 apiece. And Brett Pesce is now injured with an injured stomach till May 4th, so we just lose a big piece of our defensive core. Simon Benoit will draw in, and now we're going up against the Habs in Game 7, a do-or-die Game 7 at the Bell Center in Montreal, and guys, we need to win this one. I have decided to promote Grebyankin back up to that top line. I bet you were all screaming at me or wanting to scream at me in the comments about getting him back up there. So I have with Matthews and Marner. It's still Hall, Tavares, Nyes on that second line. And then I follow Minton and Nylander on the third starting line. I hope to God we can get some action here. Game 7 at the Bell Center in Montreal. First round is about to come to an end. It really depends on who's going to win it. Are we going to go on to the second round, or are we going to go home sad again? First period. And it's a high-scoring first period. The Canadiens go up 2-0 early before we tied up with 2 goals in under a minute or in just over a minute of play by Matthews and Marner. So very good response by our leadership. Shots are 11-6 for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and we are tied going into the second frame. Second period. And it's still tied after 40 minutes. Nick Suzuki puts the Canadiens up 3-2 before Nick Robertson ties it up. And we are headed into this third period of hockey. 20 minutes left. Do or die. If they score here and we don't tie it up, we are sent home. Sad again. We have to take a lead and maintain it. Let's see. Third period of action underway. And the Canadiens immediately get the 4-3 go-ahead goal. This time by Joshua Waugh. He does draw into the lineup for the Habs. And with halfway gone through the third, it's not looking good. They get a power play, but we do kill it off. Come on, folks. Come on. Another power play. Can we kill it off? We do. Time is winding down. And we are going to jump in for this action. And hopefully we can convert. Just a few minutes left in this third period here. We have to convert if we have any chance of going on to that second round. We just need one to go to the overtime period. And we do win the faceoff, but the puck is coming back down the other way. Slavkovsky with Caulfield, and we break that up. Suzuki intercepts the pass. It is deflected wide by Saros. Nylander comes up with the puck, and he is moving it up to Benoit, who tries to carry it over, but loses it to Reinbacher. Habs are turned over at the blue line. Nyes was racing for it, I believe. I think that was Nyes, but it doesn't make it. Shot on net, and they go up by 2. Nick Suzuki's second goal of the game, and it looks like the Montreal Canadiens have done the reverse sweep and sent the Toronto Maple Leafs home in the first round of the playoffs. Valimaki in over the line, takes a shot, but it's deflected wide by Jake Allen. Puck up to Grebyankin. It's been an uneventful almost minute of play here. Grebyankin carries it in, passes it to Marner. Valimaki with the shot. Puck is in the crease, but Allen somehow comes up with it. Man, I don't understand how Grebyankin didn't tuck that in to at least get us within one. The puck was right there. Grebyankin was right there. Look at that. He was right there. But it doesn't make it past Jake Allen. Matthews with the face-off loss. Jackeye takes the puck for the Canadiens. He's going to try to skate this up. He does. Gets it to Slavkovsky, who turns the puck over at the blue line. He had the chance to just skate over and get the empty netter and put this game away. But now Robertson gets it up to Grebyankin. Grebyankin in over the blue line with speed, but he turns it over to Justin Barron. Gets it over to Jackeye. Jackeye up to Slavkovsky. And he, again, does not go for the empty netter. Under 30 seconds to go. I think this one's over for us either way. Matthews in over the blue line, and he's stopped up. Still comes up with the puck, but Jackeye now turns it over, and he's going to carry it himself. Dumps it in, and unfortunately, your Toronto Maple Leafs season has come to an end really quickly. I thought we were going to sweep the Canadiens, and in fact, they pulled a reverse sweep on us, and they're headed on to the second round of the playoffs after winning this in 7. You absolutely hate to see it. With all the additions we made at the trade deadline to go out in the first round is just unacceptable. There will be some changes in the offseason, and that will be starting in the next episode. I'll be looking to make some big moves to try and bolster this team and possibly free up a little bit cap space. I'm just upset with how they performed. I'm really upset. They shouldn't have dropped that one. They shouldn't have dropped that one at all. I'm not even going to look at the stats because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to try to get some players re-signed in between episodes. If I can, that'll be great. I'll let you guys know at the beginning of the next episode. If I can't, it is what it is, and we'll have to see if we can get them re-signed during the re-sign phase. But that's it for this one. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this one, please leave a like down below. I'm sorry that the Toronto Maple Leafs could not get past the first round. It seems like it's just a historic tradition for them at this point. It's odd that in the Montreal Canadiens season, I can't beat the Leafs, and in the Leafs series, I really can't beat a Canadian team for a win here, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.